Alright, this is looking like a Flower Night stream. May not have the usual crew in here. This is kind of an impromptu stream. Had a bunch of free time, so I figured we might as well sneak 2 streams in today. So I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time because we're probably going to be together for the next 4 or 5 hours to get through these 2 streams. So I am just going to kind of get things started here so that it doesn't turn into 6 hours. So let's go through our survivors real quick. We're taking out Panfry, who is super strong, but is hamstrung. So they are no longer able to use fighting arts or abilities. Which stinks. We're going to need to try to get that sorted out. His fighting arts aren't amazing right now. So it's not too big of a deal. But we had to fight the Flower Knight in order to take them out. So it is what it is. Crazy high stats. They're using a bow, but they're primarily using the shield. They just need to get a hit with the shield, and then they can move to bow. So then Zachary, we know Zachary. Zachary's been one of our day ones. 3 accuracy, 3 strength, and evasion, and 2 luck. He's unbreakable. Fencing will come in handy here. I'm sure of it. We do have plenty of bandages, which is great. Probably going to be very necessary. What I need to be doing actually is making sure gear grids are updated because we did a lot of switching around. So we got grease, boots. Yeah, that looks good. We should be getting 2 evasion from the grease. 2 survival, 2 insanity. Okay, that gear grid's good. Tarna's. I think we might have done some funky stuff with. So Monster Grease will get her 2 evasion. Perfect. Vest gets her another one. So that's 3 bandages, round leather shield. Excellent. That looks up to date. Departure, 1 survival. Departure, 1 survival. So should be getting 2. Bingo. 1 luck from the sword. 1 strength from... it's saying she gets a strength and an ac... Oh, when using a sword, because she's a sword master. Yes. So her mastery... gain an accuracy, strength, and speed when attacking with a sword, and that's the only thing in her gear grid. So that's why we put those stats in there. And then yellow's got dragon plus nuke scythe. Yep. That looks good. An evasion, 2 movement. Okay. We probably need somebody to take out the bone sickle. It seems like something we're going to need, but I remember we were having this debate. I don't know if we'll have room in a gear grid. We might need it more than the ability to get iron. Let me take a look at what kind of scrap. We got 1 scrap. I'd say so. We need that acanthus stuff. So we're going to kind of replace our normal mineral gathering with herb gathering. Now I have to find it in here. I wouldn't technically have to find it. We could... Oh, there it is. We know what it does, but... Herb gathering... This is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough fight. I think we just need to get in and kill him as quick as possible. We all get an armor, and we all get +2 strength tokens to start. What's up, Titan? So that's really, I mean, as prepared as we can be to take down level 3. So let's go ahead and set up the hunt. The hunt's going to be tough. A long hunt. With a lot of Flower Knight stuff. So I think this fresh acanthus at least is going to be beneficial for us to pick up. I'd like to save some to turn it into dried, but at the very least, the fresh will help us replenish armor points. Alright, let's make sure our names are right. So we got Pan Fry over here. Why'd that not save? There we go. Pan Fry, Tarna, which is still there. Yellow, which is no longer snow. Okay, and then not Pan Fry, but Zachary. Alright. Makes me kind of nervous, but let's go ahead and depart. Now I'm going to give everybody their 2 strength tokens. Okay. And right now we're looking at 6 survival being our lowest amount of survival. 6, 11, 9, and 11. It's good. Mrs. and the baby are doing good. Thank you, Titan. Yeah, we just I had some time for a double stream. I'm going to have to change the time of our streams moving forward. So we could talk about that when everybody else jumps in, probably for the second stream or the last half of this stream. Realistically, I'll probably just have to push them back an hour to be at 1 p.m. Instead of noon. But we could talk about what's going to work best for everybody. So Pan Fry is our first event revealer. And we're actually going to do herb gathering very first. So I think the best way to do this is to make everybody roll 2 at a time. That seems to work best. Right? Because there's 8 of us. And we just want to hit the... Well, we want to hit the 45 to 74 range. Right? I would assume. So maybe we should each roll 3. 3 would be a safe bet. I think we could avoid doubles with 3. And if 1 or 2 of us rolls 3 and hits it, we could drop down to 1. Or drop down to 2. So we got a 1 in there, a 1, 6, and 7. So 14 out of the first individual. That's pretty good. Let's keep on that track. Let's keep doing 3 till we get burned on it. So that's 1 roll. We're at 14. Nice, that was a good one. 14, so 23, 31, 36. Now we could probably drop down to 2 dice apiece. 36. I will do for the second one. So this is for number 3, 36. Plus 7 puts us at 43? 43? With 1 roll left. Let's just play it safe and roll 1 die. Anything but a 1 and we'll get what we want. A 4. Perfect. So that's 47. Which drops us right into this 45 through 74. Gain 2 fresh acanthus strange resources. 1, 2. Perfect. I'm going to give those here. And here, I think. Okay. And then if the settlement has cooking, which we do, we gain a random vermin resource and all survivors gain 3 survival. Sweet. So that'll just about max everybody out. 9, 11, 11, 11. Very cool. Well, I probably shouldn't have said it like that, but... Alright, and then a random vermin. Shuffle these up. And I think that's the nightmare tick, right? Hissing cockroach. Vermin consumable. Consume. Archive this to lose all survival and gain 2d10 insanity. If you're insane, you must consume this. So we'll give it to Yellow, who's got 1 insanity, so that they don't have to consume. Wow, that's like the 5th time in a row we've drawn attack patterns. I don't think we're going to need it, because he's only got 11 toughness, but we'll take it because I think it's the best one. It's the most useful one for sure. The other ones are very hard to use efficiently. Alright, now Panfry is actually ready to reveal our first event here. Our first random hunt event. And it's 96. '96 is Grim and Frostbitten. That doesn't sound great. Grim and Frostbitten. There is a dead stillness in the air. The atmosphere becomes thick with worry, and the survivors carry on nervously. A bitter, evil cold sets in, and there is no shelter. The survivors huddle together for warmth, shivering loudly. Unless a survivor has armor gear at every hit location, they lose Cory monster level survival. So Panfry's good, Zachary's good, Tarna's good, but Yellow loses 3 because they don't have anything at the arms. Not ideal, but could be far worse. Could be something that's like every step you take, you get some damage. So Tarna's next with our next random. And that's a 46. Which one is light in the sky again? I don't remember, but it's awesome. Alright, so river. The survivors come to the edge of a river of blood. Non-insane survivors suffer 1 brain damage at the side of it. So that's just Yellow. Yellow suffers 1. The survivors must investigate in order to pick up their quarry's trail. Each survivor rolls a d10. If no survivor successfully finds the monster's trail, roll again on the hunt board before moving. So... Oh, wow. Oh, heavy gear. I think we avoid heavy gear. Because we can't have it for this... for People of the Sun campaign. So we might look out here. We'll start things off with Panfry rolling. Since it's kind of a 1 at a time deal. So this is for Panfry, who has 3 insanity. Her insanity doesn't factor into this, I don't think. But so 3 through 5. Suffer 1 event damage to a random hit location from sifting through the fecal blood water too long. So 1 damage to Panfry's head. Tarna is next, with hopefully something that picks up the trail. 7, that's got to be close. It might not do it, but that's a better chance. Yeah, 6 through 8, so 7. You realize the blood river is filled with the bloated corpses of unrecognizable monsters. You feel compelled to fish them out. Gain a random basic. Be better if it was a... Actually, it wouldn't be. So we got a monster bone. If you're wearing heavy gear, you fall in and swallow blood and soft bloated monster bits. Reduce your survival to 1. And that was Tarna. Tarna does not have any heavy gear. Nobody does. So that's nice. Alright, moving down to Yellow. We really need somebody to pick up this monster's trail, because we do not want to add additional hunts to this. 6 is the same thing. So for Yellow, she's going to get a random resource. Make sure she doesn't have any heavy gear. She's got metal, but she does not have heavy. So then that's it, right? Just the resource. Yeah. Last chance with Zachary to get a 9 or 10 here. Look at him work. A 9. That's the experience of a day 1 survivor right there. So a 9, you successfully find the monster's trail. It should let us start the showdown immediately. That would be huge. Alright, now we're moving down to yellow for our next event. $78. Dead Great Game Hunter. The survivors find a corpse dressed in brightly colored clothing, clutching something to its chest. The event revealer may investigate, which is yellow. If they do, they gain a courage, roll a d10. If any survivor has a whip, they lash the corpse from afar and add +4. Otherwise, roll again on the hunt event table. So a 1 is terrible. This is an investigate table. Do they get the bonus? No. Okay. So 1 would be real bad. 2 through 4 is not ideal because of the accuracy token. 5 up is nice. I don't really want to roll again on the table, so I'm going to have yellow roll here. And I got faith that yellow's going to get it done. They did not get it done, but they didn't lose an arm. A 1 is losing an arm, so thank goodness we dodged that. So 2 is that -1 accuracy token. So let's go ahead and give him that. And Zachary's our last event revealer before we start over. It's Hunt Event 1. Broken lanterns. The survivors feel something crunching beneath their feet. The event revealer may choose to lower their lantern and investigate, or ignore the sensation and continue their journey. If they choose to investigate, the event revealer gains a courage. He hasn't been able to gain courage for a long time. Yeah, and then he'll roll. Sure. Yeah, we need the broken lanterns. We didn't get him. So he's going to suffer monster level damage to his legs, which is 3, unfortunately. We're not in a great spot here. Okay. Would have been nice for almost anybody else to gain that courage. Pan probably could have used it. Tarna's getting real close to maxing out. Probably need to get her fresh or some dried acanthus before she does. Alright, now we're back to Pan Fry. Taking over the next hunt event. $30. 3-0. Which is Rotten Faces. Sounds great. The stone faces start to give under the survivor's feet. They are bloated and smell terrible. Each survivor rolls a d10. Give me a break. Okay, we're just going to roll them all at the same time here. Well, they definitely put themselves in order for us. So we got a 4-4, 9-2. So starting at the top. A 4. They're going to spend a survival to escape. They don't want to roll on this again. No way. So it's actually, do they all get that? 4-4, 9-2. So lose a survival, but yellow escapes without incident. And then the 2 loses a survival as well. Which is okay. Little survival drainage there. What are you gonna do, you know? Okay. So Tarna, well, actually we all roll up to the forest wants what it wants together. So here we all are. When the survivors land on the overwhelming darkness space, they instead resolve the forest wants what it wants. Survivors may not pass over this. Must stop to resolve this event. After rolling to test the gate, each survivor may do any or all of the following actions once to increase their roll result. Okay. Well, we know the drill with this, so let's just hope for a high roll to get things started so that we have to take less overall damage. 5 is not great. So we're starting with a 5, which makes us unwelcome. What are the rules of starvation? Just so that we're all clear. Is that going to hurt less than remove a D5 resource from settlement storage? This says end the hunt, not end the hunt event. Does that mean we just have to lose a D5 storage and we start the showdown? I would way rather do that. We have tons of resources to spare. I need a rules czar in here to help me with this. Because still, I think I'd rather lose a D5's worth of resources than giving everybody these bleeds and negative tokens. Because we're going to have to do 8 total things. So that's everybody taking a -1 token and everybody taking a bleed. I would just rather lose the resources. I'm just going to lose the resources. I don't know if that means we get to start the showdown, but I'll lose 1 D5's worth of resources. Look at that, 1 resource. That's such a light punishment to pay to get through that space. End the hunt and apply the rules of starvation space on the hunt board, which is just remove D5 resources from the settlement storage. But does that mean we start? End the hunt. Starvation isn't a thing on here, so it's got to be in the glossary. Starvation. If the survivors move into this space, including starting a showdown, apply the rules listed on the hunt board. That's all it says for us. Man. This says end the hunt, not end the event. So I'm saying that's the end of the hunt. So I'm going to start the showdown. And if I'm dead wrong, then somebody's going to have to explain to me why that wording is so vague. End the hunt. End the hunt and apply the rules of starvation. So I applied the rules of starvation, now I'm ending the hunt. So we're going to set up a showdown for level 3. What? We're missing half the board. Where is it? I don't see it over here. That's not great. Yikes. Maybe it got thrown in here by accident. Jigsaw container. Does that sound right to anybody else? Oh. Picked it up and then it's gone. Crafting table. Lionite stuff. That shouldn't be in there. Not sure exactly what that means, Titan. Not sure if that means you're agreeing with me or disagreeing. Wait, so we don't even get to showdown him? So we would have to actually start a whole new... Because we won't do that. If that's the case, we'll put him back out here. Check Discord. Starvation is the last space on the hunt board. If the survivors perish on the hunt phase ends and the quarry is lost. Apply the rules on the starvation space. Lanternier is over and a new settlement phase begins. If the survivors fight a monster on the starvation space, the hunting team takes too long to bring food back home. Apply the rules of starvation space. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So we will just we'll pay the fines. Let me put that resource back in. We're still gonna have to find the other half of this. That's spooking me. I'm a little worried about where the other half of the fairy ring went. So we rolled a 5. So we'll need to give up 8 things. We don't really want disorders unless somebody's got a terrible disorder. Which they don't. They don't. No. No, we don't want disorders. We also really don't want bleeds, but we'll have to take them. So we'll all have to take a -1 attribute token of our choice. So, let's see here. Yellow. So we'll just, I'm making notes on paper here. Pan-fried Tarna. So pan-fry has a -1 accuracy. Now they'll all take a -1 strength. Which will add 4, which will put us at 9. So then we need to take 4 more. We might as well just take a bleed. Which puts us all up. It puts us to 13. So let me give us that dragon resource back. The King's Claws. And then all survivors gain a D5 insanity. So all survivors will gain... Thanks for checking those rules for me, Titan. Appreciate that. 4 insanity. And then an understanding as well. Which doesn't bold anybody, but it gets Tarna real close. Yeah, but he's also not super strong, so I don't think strength is going to be super important. He's only 11 toughness. And right now we're looking at 14 strength, 9 strength, and 12 strength on the sword, 9 on the sharp nuclear scythe, and 9 on the counterweighted axe. So I think because Song of the Brave will let us remove a negative attribute token, so most of them will get that strength back, so long as we don't get a bunch more negative attributes. I need to find this other half of the fairy ring. I mean, I know we could play without it. Like, we could use something to mark where the fairy ring is, but where the heck could it be? It's not in my inventory. It's not hiding on the board, and it's not over here on a shelf. It's just glitched out. It's not. I checked. That's where it usually sits. But I think it's glitched right now. Lost. Citadel stuff, temple, no fairy ring or flower knight, anything. That's annoying. But yes, that's where it usually is. It's not in the chest. There's really nowhere else it could be. Not under any of the books. Not in the box. That's unfortunate. Somebody submit a ticket to the team. How do I turn on these lights in here? Or are they already on? Oh, they're already on. Not great. We're going to have to try to find a way to show where the fairy ring is. These don't open, do they? No. Okay. So we'll have to try to use tokens. So we could use pretty much all these guys flipped upside down to give us the border. Because it would be here, here. That's the fairy ring. Quite anti-climactic, I guess, but at least it's the fairy ring. Okay, that's alright, we're not even close to there yet. We still got to do a lot of stuff. So Tarna is going to reveal our first Flower Knight event. Woolly Root. Strange feathered leaves sprout from the ground. The event revealer investigates. Pulling a plant from the ground, they roll on the table. A 6+. A gnarled root comes free. Its smell is entrancing, compelling you to consume it. If you do, one bite produces a juicy spray the color of clotted blood, and tasting heavily of metal. Suffer 3 brain event damage, and gain a +1 evasion but a -1 accuracy. This is Tarna, who already has 5 evasion. What's her accuracy like on that sword right now? 6, 2, and 12. Yeah, we could take that -1 accuracy. That's okay. So we would actually lose. So she gets a minus. I'm going to make a note here just so we have it all tracked. So Tarna is a -1 accuracy as well, but a +1 evasion. Keeping track of all of them. All the tokens on the book here with me. But she does suffer the 3 brain event damage too, which is okay. She did consume that. As long as she doesn't have a broken jaw, perfect. Okay, now she is just slippery as heck. Panfry 6 evasion, Tarna 6 evasion. Those are the ones we need to be taking the hits in the 1 or 2 rounds we're in there. Hopefully that's all we're in there. Yellow. Oops. Flip it. Pulls sudden life. The branches overhead are suddenly alive with writhing insects. All at once, thousands of insects begin to sing, filling the air with a vibrating wall of noise. The din brings the survivors to their knees. All non-deaf survivors suffer 1 damage to their head that ignores armor points. That's kind of lame. If any survivor has 3+ understanding, they may plug up their ears with a spongy moss and help the others do the same. Otherwise, the overwhelmed survivors suffer 1 brain event damage and begin the showdown knockdown. Yeah, I think we all have over 3, so we're good. That was close to bad. That would have been kind of lame. But Zachary up next with what's hopefully our final. Watched. While walking among the enormous, scaly trunks of massive trees, the survivors come to a clearing. Thin, black, naked birches stand in a strange row before them. As they approach, the ground twitches and twists violently, knocking the survivors off their feet. A slit in the ground forms and widens, revealing the moist membrane of an enormous eye. Reduce all survivors' insanity to 0 as they run away screaming, followed by the gaze of 1 colossal eye. Hopefully we get some on arrival. Alright, and that's that. So we already have the board set up, so we just move everything over there now. Need to decide how we're going to do this. Okay, so this is where we start. So let's go ahead and Brown Eye of Doom. We'll apply the arrival bonuses. Didn't really do much. That didn't do anything for anybody's insanity. So on arrival with our Song of the Brave, Panfry will get to get rid of that -1 accuracy token, which it looks like it did for them. So they still have -1 strength technically. They have 2 temporary strength right now, and they should have... Where'd they get that 2 from? Oh, the 2 strength tokens we got when we departed. So they lose one of those. And then Tarna had a -1 strength, -1 accuracy, and +1 evasion. So we give the accuracy back. Take 1 of the strength away. And they get to keep the +1 evasion. Okay, then on to yellow. Yellow just had a -1 strength, so they get to... Oh, and the -1 accuracy. They're going to take that -1 accuracy back and keep the -1 strength. And then Zachary only had a -1 strength, so that cancels out, and he gets to keep his 2. We do have Song of the Brave, yep. Alright. So let's go through his stuff again. We know Bloom. We know Set Roots. So it's +1 for everybody that's in there. Now, Razor Bulbs is fairly new. Whenever a survivor leaves the fairy ring, they gain a bleed, whether we opt to leave it or leave it on purpose. When the Flower Knight rolls a perfect hit, it devastates the survivor's defenses. Target loses 1 armor at all hit locations, which is not good. I think it's just one of the negative attribute tokens, Titan, with Song of the Brave. I think it allows you to discard 1. I can check, but... on arrival, each non-deaf survivor may remove 1 negative attribute token. So we don't want him having any perfect hits at all. He's Indomitable, which is not a surprise at level 3. Gain a random Indomitable resource if you do not have any for this monster. Gain nothing, which I don't think he has any. So hopefully that changes in Campaign's Death. And then Heart of the Woods is brand new. At the start of the survivor's turn, all survivors adjacent to a board edge are sucked into the darkness of the woods and are lost forever. They are dead. Do not gain the benefits of Cannibalize. Then all survivors outside the fairy ring suffer knockback 5 towards the closest board edge. So do we only get knocked back if somebody's adjacent? Or do we just all suffer knockback 5 towards the board edge every turn? I'm not super solid on what that means. It sounds like we suffer knockback to the edge of the board every turn. 5. And then there is a flower patch here. We're not too worried about it. We need to just kill this guy ASAP. And he is going to go first. So as a level 3, he gets +1 speed and 2 damage. Oh, he doesn't get the 2 and 2, huh? +1 speed, +2 damage. Alright. It was mostly my idea. Because we need the virus flower from him. When we defeat a level 3, we get a sleeping virus flower. And we need that. So, that's why. Okay. So honestly, we want Tarna to be the target of every attack. Even though her armor isn't amazing and she's our best survivor, she can dodge as many times as she wants, even when doomed. So let's go ahead and let him draw. It's a basic Glissade. Closest threat facing in Fairy Ring, which is nobody. Closest threat in range, which is somebody. So we're gonna go after Tarna. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after this attack, okay, so the monster stops its foot and shrieks. So Tarna suffers a brain damage, which is not great because that's gonna fill in her box right off the bat. And then he's gonna move over here, and it's gonna be a 3, 2, 2. Yeah. So 4. Okay, so we're rolling 4 speed. We'll figure out the damage after. So 4. Not totally sure what you mean, Titan. 4 speed. We have a ton of evasion. No 10s. That's what we wanted. So we have 6 evasions. So miss, 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 miss. Only 8s and higher we're hitting. So those all miss. There is no damage, so he does not move towards the center of the showdown board. He stays right there, right where we want him. Now this is what's confusing to me. So at the start of the survivor's turn, all survivors adjacent to a board edge are sucked into darkness of the woods and are lost forever. They are dead, do not gain the benefits of Cannibalize. That's a nobody. So then all survivors outside the fairy ring suffer knockback 5. So that would be everybody. So knockback 5, knockback 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he's equidistant. He's not. So he'll come to here. So I think now we're set. Maybe next time, Titan, since this one's already rocking and rolling. We do need to get something set up on like the weekends for just group play. So we can just all get together and play some campaigns together. Okay, so now I believe it's the start of our actual turn. So we're looking for a couple mastery points. We want Panfry to get some mastery. We want Zachary to get mastery. Pretty much everybody but Yellow. Which they were supposed to be flipped. I'm going to flip them real quick. They were supposed to be like this. Okay. So Yellow... Oh, they're not our... okay. We'll just have Panfry roll up first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Panfry is going to... they have +1 strength token, so they're going to spend that to overcharge this attack with a survival action. So they're going to attack with the round leather shield to get their shield proficiency. So that's 2 speed. They're hitting on 3+. 2 hits. Each of these will do 2 damage upon an actual wound. One of them's a parry location. It's not first strike parry, so we'll just go right after this one here. If the attacker's inside the fairy ring, which we're not. So we'll go ahead and do this. So we need a 2 or better. A 6. What's the luck situation here? Luck of 3, so it's a 7+ for a crit. So that's just a wound. But that wound does 2 damage. Moving on to this one. This is where we need the 7, 8, 9, 10. Bad. Bingo. So that's a crit. So that's 2 wounds. And we do not have the fencing fighting art, so we go straight to breakthrough over here. Which is also good for the proficiency point, just so we're... So we roll on this. If the settlement is innovated drums, which I think we have now, right? Yes. So we all get 2 insanity, and boy, do we need it. Seizing the moment, the attacker attempts to break through, which we add our luck. We don't have any tokens. So we're just looking for like a 6 through 10 probably. 5 is going to be short. An 8 shouldn't be a terrible result though. So 8, gain a survival and a luck token. Sweet. So we get that survival back. And we get a luck token. Thank you kindly, sir. Okay, that's 4 damage. And nobody in the fairy ring. Let's have Tarna roll back up here. Move her full movement of 5. Tarna has +2 strength tokens, so she's going to spend them both. And a survival to overcharge this attack with her scrap sword. She's 6 speed? That's not right. Something got funky here. Oh my gosh, it gave her the... Why would she have 2 permanent speed? She gets 1 for Child of the Sun. See, it's this. It's the sword mastery. It's given it to her twice for some reason. So, accuracy, strength, and speed. It's giving her 1... Because she was only ever at 4 before she was a swordmaster, so I think I have to take that out of here. Probably all of them. I'm a little confused on how the app does it. There's no way she's got 3 permanent speed, right? Or am I crazy? I guess she would. I don't know how that works, but she does. 6 speed? That's a death sentence. You know how hard it is to not pull a trap on 6 speed? That's insane. That's like rolling Qatars. That's not good. I still feel like that's wrong. I feel like she should not have more than 5. I'm going to drop these. And we'll investigate. But I'm going to take one of those away. Yeah, we'll go back and look at her ages, but I don't think that's right. Because she was just last week rolling 4, 4, and 4. Or 4, 4, and 9, or whatever. So she gained 1 when she became Sword Master, but that would be it. It was always a 4, 4 situation. So she should have 5. I'm almost positive. That 1 misses. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, okay. So we have an impervious, we have a wound. This isn't great. So we'll do that one last. This parry location. The wound isn't bad. The impervious isn't terrible. Nothing really happens to it. So this wound, we just would have to spend an extra survival, which is not a big deal. Oh, she spent a survival to overcharge, so she gets a 6 plus, she gets it back. So a 6, so she does get that survival back. Sword is special with Swordmaster abilities. Yeah. You get +1 strength, accuracy, and speed. But she shouldn't have 2 per... She should not... Something's not right. And I'll go back through and look at the footage, but I'm quite sure that she should not be rolling 6. She shouldn't have +3 speed. I'll go back and look, but that's how we're going to play for now. So this wound, she has what strength and stuff? She's got 9 strength with this sword, and he has 11 toughness, so we need a 2 plus. A 9, that is going to be a crit. She should have a decent amount of luck. 3 luck. So that's a critical wound. The sight of the elaborate armor in the ruins is gratifying. If the Flower Knight is inside the fairy ring, which it is, it gains a -1 toughness token. -1 toughness token. The attacker gains a +1 luck token. And a random flower resource. Where are you, Flower Knight? Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, that's actually a really good point, Titan. With it being a sword specialist, I can pick where that goes. So let's see if there's somewhere better for it to go, shall we? I mean, we might as well use it on this, right? Let's use it on that. So let's take that -1 toughness token back off. Subtract that luck token from him. Let's do the 2 wounds still, because that's an important part. And then... So we're back on the breakthrough table, and we're adding +3 to our roll because we have 3 luck. Let's go like 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh! So that's a 10. 7 plus our 3 luck. Pressing through, your senses sharpen until you are nearly overwhelmed. To gain the fencing secret fighting art, all survivors gain a survival. All survivors gain a survival, and then Tarna gains... Nice, she could use it. Fencing. Just makes her even harder to hit, because now she can parry. And remove the random flower, which I hadn't picked yet. But we already handed out the 2 wounds. So now we'll move on to this one. This next one. We're still on that 2+ train. Okay, so it's not a crit, but it is a wound. So we'll discard this, discard 2 wounds, because we're devastating as hell. Flower Knight's eyes beam strangely. The attacker gains a courage. And is knocked down unless they spend a survival. Yeah, they'll spend a survival to stay up so they can issue out 2 more wounds. This would be a great one to crit, I think, to get that bruised ego. A crit. Excellent. So the attacker gains priority target, which is also fine. They got massive dodging ability and a +1 luck token. And then it's a persistent injury, which is funny that it's an injury because it's impervious, so he actually doesn't take damage for that. Okay, and then we're on to Fey Sabotage. And we missed that, so the wound does not apply. Funny how that works. Alright. I'd say that was a fairly successful first little bout there. Anybody else that enters is going to have to take Fairy Ring. Not true. Zachary can move up. 1, 2. And Zachary can attack from 2 away with this counterweighted axe. So that's 2 speed, looking for 3s or better. Actually, he's going to do the thing too. So he's got 2 strength from the 2 strength tokens from what we departed with. So he's going to have to spend them. What does that put him at strength-wise? 7? Not ideal. But he's going to spend them. Spend a survival, 2 survival, to then overcharge. Oh, just 1 survival, sorry, because he already had the strength tokens. So he's going to attack from 2 away. A 9 hit. Oh, they both hit. 3 and 9. Safe and a parry, which he has fencing. So he gets to ignore parry locations. So this is just a little bit easier to wound here, so we'll go ahead and get after it. Actually, we're going to solve this one first, I think. No, we'll go after this one first, because we're devastating. So we want to be dang sure we're at least wounding twice. A crit! He doesn't have much luck, but that's going to do it. 2 luck. So let's get rid of those 2 AI cards. The Flower Knight's footwork is ruined. All survivors gain a survival. Love that. If the Flower Knight is outside the Fairy Ring, it gains a -1 speed, but it is still inside, so it stays. And now we're moving on to Retreating Feint, which we don't want to fail this one. A 9, another crit, which we already have fencing, so we're not going to solve that, but it is a crit, so it's worth 2 damage. Okay, word. And then he could free Surge, because he's got that ability. So why don't we? We'll free Surge here. He doesn't have to spend anything on it. He can't embolden or anything. So should that mean that we don't do it since he can't embolden? Nah, he should still free Surge. So he's doing counterweighted axe again. 2. Actually, what he could do, since he hasn't done it this round, is he could spend a survival to gain a strength token. since all he did last time was spend them. So now he's 2 speed, looking for 3s or better again. A 3 and a 7. He is not devastating. It doesn't matter, he's trapped. Okay, so place the Flower Knight in the middle of the showdown board. Place the attacker in front of the monster. They gain a +1 luck token. Each other survivor is grasped by the roots and pulled in, unless they spend 1 survival. Place them 5 spaces closer to the Flower Knight. They'll all spend 1 except Zachary. All survivors are doomed, and then we perform basic action targeting Zachary. Which isn't great, but he's got a ton of armor, so... and fencing, so he's even harder to hit as well. So, if we're attacking Zach... he's got decent evasion, right? 3 evasion. Oh well. So, it's +1 speed, so 4 speed. We're looking for sub-6s here. Sub-5s, actually. Sub-5s. 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. I see a 6 and a 7. Not looking great. 8, 7, 6. The 1 misses. Alright, now for fencing, when a monster attacks you, roll a d10. On a 6+, I get to ignore another hit. So roll high here. Come on. A 3. So that's not... So he does get hit 3 times. And it's worth 3 damage to each of the 3 locations. Legs, body, don't double up anywhere. Legs, body, waist. Perfect. Oops, legs is 3, waist is 3, body's 3. Okay. We need to get yellow out of the board edge area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get them up here close-ish in case we need them. We shouldn't. And also Tarna has priority target, so they're not going after Zachary. Zachary could... I don't even think he needs to dash, to be completely honest, but he could. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get out. He'd take a bleed. Why not? Let's keep playing it safe. So Zachary's going to dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To get out here, he gains a bleed for leaving the fairy ring. Just in case there's some absurd card coming that we aren't prepared for. All right. Now we just have to pass it over to Mr. Flower Knight. And it's an advanced 1,000 cuts. So he's going after Tarna, we already know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, blah, blah. So it's closest survivor in range. So he's moving and attacking. His speed is 3, so 4. Tarna has 6 evasion, so anything sub 8 is a miss here. Now he is devastating, so he had a perfect hit. So Tarna loses 1 at every location. Can't dodge that. So these 3 miss. I might as well dodge this, because I can. But if the target did not suffer any injuries, we can't surge because Zachary's out here. Light, heavy, or severe, which I didn't. Perform this again, targeting the same survivor, which is fine. I'm not scared of that attack. No 10s that time, so no hits. So 1, 2, 3. 3 hits, and she's just going to dodge all 3. Because she can. Oh, and she gets to roll 4 to see how many of those dodges she gets back. 1. She gets 1 survival back. Now, she is only able to do this because she is reflective. It is a Sunstalker special. She's a warrior, and we chose reflection. So you may dodge at any time and as many times as you like each round. When you attack from the blind spot, add a d10 to each of your wound attempts. So she's just, I mean, she could dodge till she's out of survival. So that's the end of his turn. So now at the start of his turn, he's going to do this, which is knockback 5 towards the closest board edge. Nobody's adjacent to one, so nobody dies, thank goodness. But we are all popping back a little closer. Zachary wounded with the axe, but he actually only has guitar proficiency, so it doesn't matter. Panfry did wound with shield, which is good. He's got that going for her. And then Tarna... Oh, Tarna was working on Katars, kind of. We didn't even put one in her grid, so... It's just to give her another mastery aside from sword, but... So it doesn't really matter there. So we might as well move up and try to finish this up here. And we should probably try to do it with Panfry. Oh, we couldn't do it with Panfry, because they're only rolling 2 speed with that shield. But if we go up with Tarna, Tarna could easily end this with the scrap sword. So we'll roll up with Tarna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then she's going to do the old gain a strength token, spend a strength token. Let's see if she gets either of those back, because she has the rawhide armor. 6s or better. 9 and 6 gets them both back, in fact. Keeps them for dodging. And then, oh, she could attack with the round leather shield. That's what she's going to do. 7 plus accuracy? That's actually pretty bad. No, we'll stick with the scrap sword. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speed. Ooh, I don't think I did get the scythe point. I didn't. Let's go back. We're going to roll back down. Good catch, Titan. Good catch. Got a little too much there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scythe has range 2, right? Yes. Okay, so yellow's going to attack with it. Not great accuracy. But they're going to spend a strength token and a survival to become devastating. They're 2 speed, 6 plus. A 6 and a 7, 2 for 2. That's good. So 1, 2. This wound, if the attacker's adjacent to the Flower Knight, which they're not. So we'll go after that first. And we're sharp. So we need 4 between 2 dice. We don't even need to roll a second one. So that is a wound. We are not adjacent, so it's just 2 wounds. Let's flip these back over and shuffle them up. And then we're on to this. Now, we don't have the ability... I mean, a crit is a 10 only. So that's highly unlikely here. 6... So that is a failure because it's a parry location. So they're going to come over and attack yellow. And I think yellow should be able to take it. They got decent armor. As long as it's not to the arms. But they did get their point, though. Which is very good. So how's their evasion? 2 evasion is all. This is going to hurt a little bit. So 4. Anything under a 4 misses. The 2 misses. The 2 misses. The 5 and 8 both hit. They can't dodge either of these because it's a reaction. So this is worth 2 damage to each spot is all. Waist and... Was it legs? Waist and legs. No problem. And we got that scythe proficiency point. Now Panfry can actually roll up and can just go with the shield and draw less cards. So we're going to go round leather shield, 2 speed, looking for 3s or better. Oh, devastating 2. Stop. Pause. Those do not count. Those do not count. I said it before I knew their result. We're going to spend a survival to get a strength token, spend the survival to spend the strength token to give our attack devastating. Now we're attacking with the round leather shield, looking for 3s or better. A 1 and a 9. Okay, I think I might have hurt myself there, but that's okay. So we draw 1. It's a wound location if the attacker is adjacent to the Flower Knight, which they are, so this attack is devastating, and it wounds, so that's worth 2 damage. Wound. If the attacker is adjacent to the Flower Knight, they suffer bash. Pan-Fry is in all leather, so they get to ignore bash. Without turning, move the Flower Knight 3 spaces towards the center of the showdown board. So 1, 2, 3. Works for me. If we had the ability to surge, she could shoot her bow, but we don't. Alright, now it's between Zachary and Tarna. They both have the ability to end it. Let's get Zachary in there. So Zachary's got, I think, just 5 movement. It does have the aim ability, but Pan-Fry's the one that's got the bow. And they just attacked. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can attack from 2 away, so we might as well. Counterweighted axe is 2 speed, 3 plus. Oh, look at that! Look at that. On a perfect hit, monster suffers a wound. Do not draw a hit location. Limit once per attack. So he's dead on that perfect hit. Bleh. Let's see what I would have drawn. Oh, nice. It would have been okay. Death to the level 3 Flower Knight. Smoked him. Smoked him, Titan. Okay. Alright, word. So, if the settlement has innovated Petal Spiral when they defeat a level 3 Flower Knight, all survivors with Fencing, Secret Fighting Art, and the Ghostly Beauty Disorder, which we don't have. So, we'll never know. Okay. So we get 4 basic, 8 flower. We'll do that first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's not forget to add these acanthuses to the groups. Resources, and now that hissing cockroach as well. Might have to delay our next stream, my friends. My wife, Mrs. Hits and Crits, is just texting me, and it's not looking great. And then 8 of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. None of the ones that give us scrap. Wow, that's impressive. It's not looking like it's very good, but that's all right. That's life. So, and then we get a sleeping virus flower rare gear. We're gonna give that to Amaras. Okay. And oh, we do get a black lichen strange resource. I don't think that does us any good right now, but okay. We accomplished what we came here for. And then let's go back here. So we complete the showdown. We have to gain 2 hunt XP. That's tough. So Tarna turns 2 age. Yellow turns 2 age. And oh, Zachary is retired. Really? Oh, that's funny. Alright, so we'll go to Tarna's first. We took the scavenger kit out to keep bandages because we just wanted to be prepared for that and knew we wouldn't need to really get extra resources from him. Okay, so Tarna's rolling on age 2. And that's an 11. Should be a strength, I think. Yep, permanent strength for Tarna. And yellow gets the same. And we actually probably want a strength for yellow. Maybe an accuracy wouldn't be bad, but... oh, a 3. A random fighting arm. Berserker. Lame sauce. Okay. Now let's get a settlement event going here. Triple shuffle. Stranger in the dark. Let's roll it up. Uh-oh. The stranger speaks, calling himself the Horizon Man. He claims to have touched the water in the sky. In the blink of an eye, the man is gone, leaving his lantern and a pile of bones. Add a skull, a bone, and a broken lantern resource to the settlement storage. Alright. That's fine. No, I was just gonna do 2 streams today, Bill. So I did one early. We just massacred the Flower Knight. But I just sent out the message in Discord an hour or 2 ago about doing an early stream on top of our normal stream, but I'm not sure if that's going to work now. I got to go up and talk to Mrs. Hits and Crits. It's not looking great. Kind of had something come up that's not super awesome, so I may not even be able to finish up this lantern year. I guess this is why I wanted to do it early. I guess I just had a feeling. You missed it, but the greatest part is it's recorded, Bill. It's live. I won't spoil for you how we did it. But we have only been live for an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, let's innovate, though, for sure, because I'll forget something like that, and then that'll suck. 1, 1, and 1. We did also talk about moving our new stream time to 1 o'clock instead of noon, pushing it back 1 more hour. That just is, I think, going to work better for me. Oh, we got it. There it is. Clan of Death. Newborn survivors, +1 strength, +1 evasion, +1 accuracy. That's crazy. We're taking it. So we'll take Clan of Death and leave the rest. This is a pretty fresh area to pick up on. I'm really sorry, Bill. I didn't mean to ruin your stream viewing day. So just got Clan of Death. Making notes. Probably will do some intimacy this year to get some 1 or 2 population that can benefit from that and be purified. We're going to give this virus flower to Amaras. We need to figure out how to kill him. How's the best way for us to kill this guy? Whether that's, whatever we decide. We just got to figure out how to kill him with the virus flower. We don't have the sacrifice. I know what we could do. I think I have some ideas. I'm going to put them in notes here. Kill Amaras. Nightmare training? ? Okay. I have to end stream here. I'm going to end here. Bill, watch this. We don't want to kill him. No, we do want to kill him. We want to kill him with warm virus flower, because now we have it. So he'll die, and we're going to have, I think it was, who was it that was going to be the host? Call, I think. So Call's going to take it over, gain all those attributes, and bow mastery. And he'll be our new bowman. A bowmaster that's 0 years old, that's going to be sweet. With a bunch of luck and deadly 3 with this bow, it's going to be sick. But yes, I'm sorry guys, I was really not planning on this happening. I really wanted to do 2 streams back to back today for everybody, but such is life, right? But I'll be messaging you guys in Discord and stuff, trying to keep you posted on everything. I apologize, but Titan, thanks especially for being here, and Bill, thanks for being here at the end, man. I'm sorry I didn't get word to you sooner.